Think of the artist as a medium. Think of the artist as a post-production medium. Think of the role of pure intuition. Think of the role pure intuition plays in locating that indeterminate space of remixological potential where sense data meets pure data. Intuition is what greases the wheels of post-production. I wonder how this very remix I am performing for you right now is a kind of creative intervention or hack into the unconscious readiness potential of creativity itself, and how that relates to developing an innovative sense of measure. Sense of measure. Artists always have to develop and reconfigure their sense of measure over time. Remixing your sense of measure over time is what Duchamp was talking about when he was riffing on the artist's medium, executing the creative work with a pure intuition that cannot be translated into self-analysis. When Burroughs tells us, "Consider the is of identity," and then proceeds to indicate to us the viral effects of language, he too is leading us on toward more hacktivist interventions that remix our sense of measure over time. Is it possible to develop a sense of measure that is based in pure intuition, but that is also machinic in its generative capability? Is the creative unconscious a kind of auto-generated measure of pure intuition? Exactly how do artists or hackers or creative remixers develop a sense of measure over time? Maybe in order to make sense, one must first take measure. The creative act of sampling and remixing has its own measure, and taking measure requires making things intuitively. My basic sense of measure is a collaboratively generated and remixed stream of thought. Is it possible for us to turn the art of remix into a collaboratively generated measure of thought? Remixologically generating intervening measures of thought in a collaboratively networked field of distribution is what it means to intersubjectively jam while becoming a post-production medium. Think of the remixologically inclined performance artist as a novelty generator, someone who positions their aesthetically fit energy bursts as an intervening sense of measure to be reckoned with. Hopefully, one thing we're beginning to realize is that remix artists are more than performance art protagonists fighting the artificial eyes of the image machine. In fact, if you listen closely to what I'm doing here, you'll see that I'm performing the next version of creativity coming. That is to say, the next version of a constructed self as a kind of generative remixologist performing their always live post-production sets. Our daily remix practice magically reconfigures our conceptual personas as the next role-playing performance of creativity coming, and it ends up as part of the revolution of everyday life, something we may want to approach as a processual theory to be. Think of the source material everywhere as a kind of collaboratively generated field of distribution where we play to play. How, in fact, do we post-produce or hack into or remix the source material everywhere? Somehow you have to get beyond the technical thrill of being able to mash up YouTube videos and start digging in deeper so you can see how the contemporary remixologist is always sampling from the source material everywhere, and, in the process, rendering their experience into a series of intense aesthetic facts.